So I found a quarter today. I don't know why, but I did. I was standing outside handling some matters. Gotta fill my mind, stomach, and veins. The bills don't pay themselves.
You found a quarter. You don't say.
Well, that quarter, sir, is mine. It's all mine.
Does it have your name on it? Because it sure don't have your face on it.
How could it? I was tied up trying to fix myself.
You were tied up in other matters. I understand.
Do you? Really?
Niggers always running around chasing chickens, trying to fill the void before supper, sweating like a dog. Bite the head of the chicken off, let the blood drip all the way down to your balls. By the time you're full, you're hungry again. Then you got to go back to the master and get the tools to chase chickens again.
Now, if master gave me some land, I'd grow my own chickens. 1 chick is all I need. My wife and 3 babies I'd feed.
Master's got people to feed too.
Himself. Hisself and himself.
And me and myself and I.
When I saw the quarter, I wanted to scream. Like shit. I ain't never had not 1 cent to myself. And with this fucking quarter, I could go to Silicon Valley, hop into a time machine, go back in time and buy myself. In fact, I could go back and buy my ancestors. I could go back and buy the entire plantation. I could go back and buy 10 acres in Florida and build a castle. It's been done before.
Not by someone like you. They wouldn't take the quarter. Anyone with eyes would know that a nigger can't have a quarter. They'd lock you away. That's what they do.
You're scared. I've got that runaway blood. That I'll leave you to be alone. Say, how much do I owe you?
Right now? About 25 cents. But in 10 days, you'll owe me a leg. In a month, your arms. And in 1 year, I want your entire body day in and day out. I can't let you up right now. I need you feeding me. I've got to be full. But I'm sure one day you'll be free. You understand?
So, what if I gave you my arm right now?
Then I guess you'd be free.
Bravo! Bravissimo! Sorry. How are you?
I'm
Phanésia?
so good.
Yes. Great play. I wanted to introduce our guest. Today, I am talking to Phanésia. Tell me your name one more time.
Phanésia Pharel. I'm
Phanésia.
Oh, Phanésia Pharel.
Phanésia Pharel. Thank you so much, dear. So tell us a little bit what we saw.
Yes. So you were watching a short play, Point 25, which was a part of the Reset Coalition last year, which was a group of theaters, including Conch Shell Productions, that got together to support works by artists of color. Last summer, because of everything that was happening with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, they wanted to come together and just create artwork to speak to the time. And we actually had a series called We're Not Neutral. And it was, the short plays, including the play that you just saw, they were published in this amazing collection and edited by Sir J. Burbank. So, it's one project that happened last summer, and just
Great.
a little into my writing.
Yes, wonderful. So thank you so much for showing your work to us. So tell us a little bit about how you and I met.
Oh goodness. Well, we were on this Clubhouse room called Film People Who Get Things Done. I'm going to say the appropriate way because children are watching.
Yeah.
And, that was actually my first time in the room, and I was listening, and the structure of the room, it's really interesting, is that people come up and you give an offer instead of, traditional networking where you say, hi, I'm this person and I work in this field. You say, hey, I'm a human being, this is my name, and this is what I want to do. And your offer could be anything from, I'm going to read your script to, I'm going to walk your dog, or I want to have a board game night and I'm offering anyone the opportunity to hang out with me. And it's formulating a space where people can connect with each other outside of super hi, get me a job type of traditional networking. So it was really cool. You came up and you generously offered to host people on your platform for an interview, and I DM'd you on Instagram.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. So, so tell us a little bit your upbringing. I know you're Haitian-American.
Yes.
Were you born in America, or your parents came from Haiti?
Yes. So my parents immigrated from Haiti. My mother immigrated when she was about 10 years old, and my father immigrated when he was 19. They're about 8 years apart, so they actually immigrated around the same time, which is really funny. And I was born in Boston, but I've been raised in Florida. Excuse the ice cream truck driving by my house.
Yeah, that's okay. So, by the way, where are you right now?
Oh, I'm in Barefoot Bay, Florida. It's a retirement community a little outside of Orlando, Florida. It's on the coast.
Very nice. Thanks to the technology and it's kind of ironically, the pandemic actually forced us to use social media in a different way, right? People like you made your play and had your production by Zoom, and we are talking to each other now. I'm in New York City, you're in Florida. That's very amazing. So we can still, connect to each other.
Yeah, it's revolutionized work entirely. I haven't connected with people in person in over a year in terms of collaborating and working. But yeah, I've made so much progress and I've been able to create so much. So I'm really grateful for the technology that we have today.
Yeah. So we were talking about your upbringing. Tell us a little bit about where were you born and what is your, like childhood like?
Yeah, so I was born in Arlington, Massachusetts, but I don't claim Massachusetts at all because I only lived there for 2 weeks, and my parents put me in a car and they drove all the way down to Florida. So I'm a Florida-raised girl. Spent most of my childhood in Miami, all of it in South Florida, and I grew up on a dragon fruit farm for a decent amount of time, and yeah, I found myself, I played the violin when I was younger. And
Wow.
yeah, my mom was she was really interesting. She always tried to push us into the arts, but then she would want me to be like a lawyer. It was really funny. She was like, she put me in orchestra, she put me in choir, she put me in theater camp, and then she turned around and she was like, why do you want to do theater? You got to make money. You got to be, a lawyer or something like that. So I actually had to fight to do theater. It was like often rebelling, and I had to like stand up when I went to high school for theater, and when I started traveling in high school because I was a part of a theater program, we would travel across the U.S. doing theater. We would go to festivals, and I would. I eventually started, writing plays through that experience. I wanted to be an actor, but I transitioned into writing because I discovered, and I was encouraged by, the likes of Tina Fey to write as opposed to perform. So my mom is a writer herself. She writes mostly children's books. So I spent a lot of time while my parents were moving, and running around and doing things, reading. And I think a lot of immigrants, when they immigrate to the U.S., they're on their own odyssey. They're building a new life. They're doing something new. And that is definitely the case for my parents. And so while they were building this life and on their own odyssey, I was left to the mercy of books. And I would like escape through reading Harry Potter and the Hunger Games. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So now you kind of inherited to your mom's right skill, like she's a writer, and so I would guess for someone is in writing or in writing script or writing plays, or anyone is in the writing business, the very beginning of its training or influence you must have to read a lot, right? And so do you have like a favorite genre when you were younger, and compared to now, have you changed the way you read, influenced the way you think and write?
Yeah, when I was younger, I would read sci-fi. I mean, sci-fi was my favorite, dystopia, and I'm really into that now. I'm into writing dystopia, and even the play you just saw is a little dystopia sci-fi, because there's that magical realism. We're jumping in a time machine where we don't really know where we are. And I also loved like romance novels. I would read like the novels my mom didn't want me to read. I would read those novels,
Yeah.
or, like, the Wattpad fan fiction romance. I would read those too when I wasn't supposed to, inappropriately, just because I like romance. So I run the gamut, but definitely sci-fi, romance, mixing of those two together.
Yeah, that's great. So now you started to tell us a little bit about you started to write a play when you were already only like 15,
Yep.
or you published a play when you were 16. So tell us about that experience, please.
Yeah, so I was, a very angsty teenager, and one of my friends from high school is actually here in the chat writing. Bryce can tell you all about how angsty I was. And I was, my high school drama teacher encouraged me to go to a theater festival that was specifically for playwrights. And that weekend, I met a Haitian-American playwright, Franz-Louis Benson, who's an incredible writer. And she encouraged me to write. And there were other writers there too, Suzanne Miller. And so that summer, I discovered what it meant to write plays. I met one of my favorite playwrights there too. And I never understood that people could write plays. I was an actor. I thought I would act in a play. It never occurred to me that I could be the one writing the story. And after that, I spent that summer reading a bunch of plays. I read at least 50 plays that summer, just because I wanted to get into it. Marcia Norman, a very famous playwright, at the conference I attended, gave 3 pieces of advice: read plays, be in plays, and write plays. And she's like, you do those 3 things, you'll be a great playwright. And it's a little more complicated than that, I think, but she was right in the sense that you do have to read a lot of theater. And so I read about 50 plays that summer. And after that, I, was trying to figure out, because we would go to these theater competitions at my high school. So I knew I wanted to submit a play that year. And I remembered that one day I was really frustrated with my friend, Hilda at the time, who was at my school, about how at our public school we were often being pushed around. We were being disrespected by the people who were supposed to be taking care of us and guiding us. And we didn't have freedom of expression when it came to school. We didn't have classes, that we couldn't take certain classes. And so I wrote a play basically taking the public education system in America and making it a circus and making fun and kind of like making it like satire on the issues within the public school system from the perspective of a young Black girl. And that play, Penelope, I submitted it to a bunch of competitions. It was workshopped as one of 4 in the nation. And it was published by Samuel French the following summer. So I wrote it at 15, got it published at 16. And that was my first play, Penelope.
Wow. Congratulations. It's wonderful. So now you are now so when you were in high school, what state were you in? Like where? You're now in Florida. But when you were in high school, where were you?
I was in Miami. Yeah.
Oh, Miami, still in Florida. So now tell us a little bit about you. You made it to Barnard College, Columbia University. That's a huge accomplishment, just to be in a college which is Ivy League school. How does that experience go?
Oh my goodness. It was. I mean, I will get emotional talking about it. So don't cry. Don't cry.
Don't cry. Argentina.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was amazing. When I applied, it was my dream school. And I remember when I was waiting for my acceptance, I went to the movie theater to watch Moana with my best friend. And I got my acceptance because it was, they were starting to do virtual. I got it on my phone. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's supposed to come out. I'm going to look at it. I opened it. I got accepted. I screamed in the middle of the movie theater. We screamed, we jumped, and we ran down the movie. Horrible in the middle of the movie.
Oh my God. Wow.
So it was a dream come true.
911.
Yeah, literally.
That's awesome.
They were terrifying.
Awesome. Wow, that must be really awesome. So how is it, like, what major you're in Barnard?
I was urban studies. I didn't even major in theater, ironically enough. But it's all connected. So I didn't mention this because I don't often mention it. But when I was 13, my family, in Miami, our house burned down.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it changed everything. It changed everything. We didn't have secure housing for about 8 years. And during that time period, that's what pushed me to write. That's what pushed me to theater. That's the reason why I got so into it. It was self-expression. It was, I didn't understand it at the time, but I was depressed because that's a very depressing situation. But theater was an opportunity for me to work through it. And when I went to college, I studied urban studies because in urban studies, we discuss cities, housing, and how homelessness, all of these things. And I didn't realize it at the time, but because of what happened to me when I was 13, my family losing the home, I wanted to study how that even happens in America, the richest country in the world, right? The country my family immigrated to see a better life. And that's why I studied it in school. But coincidentally, by studying how cities are built, how housing works in America, it influences my writing even more to this day. So everything is connected, even if my major wasn't theater or playwriting. It's all affirming and aligned with my life path and my interests.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So now tell us a little bit about your how do you balance when you were in school and then you also doing playwright when you were in Barnard, and so how is the school schedule with your writing and producing plays, stuff like that? Can tell us a little bit.
It was tough. I mean, I didn't, the school I came from like a public school where I was the only like person in my class who went to school out of state. So it wasn't like anyone was giving me like, here's the guide to succeed in an Ivy League. I mean, it's a tough school, nobody, I show up and, I have some guidance. I have, I was a part of a program that helped me a little bit. And I had, there are people who looked out for me. I had so much support from people at school. It's a very supportive environment. I love that about Barnard. But nobody tells you how to get your career in order while staying in school. You kind of have to do both at the same time, while having a social life, while taking care of your health, while doing school. It's like, you couldn't pay me to go back. I loved it, but you couldn't pay me to go back because it was so much. And I mean, it was tough, but I would reach out to resources. I had support, and I was working. I tried to make everything align. So I tried to work jobs that were in the industry I wanted to work in. So if I was working 3 jobs, well, at least one of those jobs is going to be in theater. So I was like working 3 jobs while being a college student, doing everything at the same time. And while that was overwhelming, I used every opportunity I could to write. I even turned my concentration into creative writing so that I could continue writing. And I would ask people questions. I'd say like, how do you do this? Or how do I do that? And people would support, and I'd apply like crazy, interview people to see how do people become playwrights and how do they do that well. And then I sort of followed those steps. I hope I'm being succinct.
Yeah. No. Thank you so much. Yes. So it's not easy to be in New York City and to go to, the school you're going, which is, very high demand. And then it has to, New York City is expensive to live in, right? I mean, yeah. I bet the tuition is very high too. Yeah. So it's a huge hurdle you're going through. And now what happened was, so you graduated already, and how was this whole last year of a pandemic affecting you and the whole process of learning and graduating? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for asking about that. I mean, it's tough for all of us, right? I mean, I'm so happy I can be connected with you and that the pandemic has sort of accelerated the technology that allows us to connect. But at the same time, it was emotionally draining. I was scared because of COVID, so I wouldn't see people very often. So even though I was in the city, I wasn't around my friends, and I became disconnected to a lot of the friends that I loved. And I slowly started going out and meeting more people, but I think that socially there was a negative impact on my college experience because I wasn't able to connect with people in the way I used to in person. And I look back and I'm like, wow, I took it for granted so much. I mean, how was I supposed to know we would be in a pandemic? But just being able to hug someone. I mean, I'm a very talkative person, so I love talking to people, giving people a hug, or going for walks with people, going to yoga with my friends. Small things like that. It definitely sucked not being able to have it. But the interesting thing is it accelerated my career because being at home, all I could do was write and do work. So I ended up taking on more writing gigs, and it kind of pushed my career forward, even if the cost was my social life.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's tough for everybody. And I'm glad you graduated, because sometimes some students, they'll take a year off, or they are still taking off, right? And the whole pandemic really throw everybody off, and no one knows this was happening, and everybody is try to cope it in their own ways. And I have a college student in my household. My son is in college.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on?
I told you I'm an old fart.
I didn't believe you.
No, I'm really old fart. Yeah. So yeah. My son is 21. So yeah. So he's still in school. It's his third year. And it's tough. I mean, I see him at home because the dorm closed since last March. So he's always home, and I see him, roll out of bed, go on to Zoom meetings, and just and sleeps a lot, and plays video game a lot.
Oh, no. We need to get him out.
Huh?
We need to get him out. We need to get him with friends. You got to bring people over. Come on. Let's get him,
Yeah. But the school is back now. The school is I wouldn't say 100% get back. He goes to Juilliard, so the school goes back.
Hey, how is that casual? My son is to Juilliard.
Juilliard. He goes to Juilliard.
What does he do?
He's a violist. I play the viola, so I breed a violist.
The viola is so beautiful, and Juilliard. I mean, that's absolute. I mean, tip top.
Thank you.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. Congratulations. That's a reflection of you.
Yeah, thank you, dear. Thank you. So I don't practice anymore. He does all the practice for me. Damn. So yeah, I can feel the pandemic is throwing people around, and I think also lots of people are affected. People's grown-ups, their work. Children cannot go to school. Can you imagine? Like 6-year-old to 13-year-old or 15-year-old stays home all the time. That's really hard for parents, right? I mean, yeah, somebody had to go to work, but then somebody had to be home, stay with them. So it's really hard. Yeah, I feel for everybody. Now, in your bio, you mentioned about I want to ask you a question. You said something about what does that mean? Divine metaphysical dilemma of Black and Latino girlhood. What does that mean? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, let's jump into it. That's
very sophisticated writing. By the way, our guests, you are going to see our bios and in the description. So I'm just reading one sentence. Yeah, tell us a little bit about what does that mean.
So long story short version. Long version. Which should I give? Long version or short version?
Long version.
Long version.
You're not in Clubhouse.
Yes. Oh, listen. Clubhouse went out. I love it, but
yeah. Clubhouse sometimes it's like you only have 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
I am the plane. Land
Yeah,
the plane.
offer, only offer, no pitching.
Oh, God. What's going? Oh, so women are divine, right? We live in a divine space. We're learning more about how we can create, and as women, we're incredible creators, right? We can literally give birth. Like, we are creators, and what we create with our mind, we can, we're living, right? Right now, we're speaking through a computer that someone created, and that's divine. There's divinity in that. And it's not just in product, but in our experiences. Like, I explore it through poetry, movement, and the divine metaphysical dilemma. You can kind of say it's like sci-fi, but what I'm really talking about is it's a mix of checking out our spiritual, like the balance between spirit, science, and just going out there when we're talking about girlhood, right? Instead of just thinking about this teenage girl is going to school, she's going home. That's not all that's happening. She goes to sleep and she dreams. And during her dreams, we can see other things. And like, that's what I like to explore. And it's a question. It's not anything that's succinct and defined. I'm not like, I write books about newspapers. I don't know. Like, it's an open space for me to explore teenage girls, specifically Black and Latina, because those are the groups that I know most. I mean, I grew up in Miami, which is predominantly Hispanic, and I'm a Black girl, so that's my in for the Black girls. But I care about us, and I care about our stories. I care about the way we're represented, and that particular age range is really interesting to me. So I try to explore it and try to look at how young girls are magical and how they're brilliant, and how, for example, like, I want to write about how young people are experiencing this pandemic and how through that they're creating. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, definitely makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to walk through us. And you're also in an era which is a very, very fortunate in an era. People do support or promote African Americans, Asians, women. Right, I think it's an era of people really value artists or writers or filmmakers or musicians from different colors. I think I feel, yeah, we are supported. There's a lot of places we can go, or project that are being supported by other foundations that you can apply for grants, or so I think we are in a good position in right now. I think so. Yeah. And you being African, you being the color, a color woman, and I am a color woman too. I'm not white, I'm yellow. So I'm very proud of myself being Chinese American, and and I see you. So now tell me a little bit about you, what do you do? Like, what is your current project right now in terms of writing?
That's a great question. So I just finished a commission with City Theater, Miami. They're actually the theater company that held the conference where I found out about writing plays. So graduating and saying that the first time I was paid to write a play was for them is kind of crazy. Like, it's full circle. And I wrote a play for their middle school tour. So they were doing like a middle school tour of plays, and I wrote a play specifically for middle schoolers in Miami. And I'm under commission right now, which when you're a writer under commission, that means that you're being paid by a theater company to write a play. And I'm under commission with Throne Stone Theater in Ridgefield, Connecticut. They're an exciting new plays theater. They specifically are working with 3 writers of color. I'm one of them. Catherine Yu is one of them. And Tony Meneses is another one. And the 3 of us are coming together to write 3 short plays that are going to be performed outside this fall in Connecticut. So people are going to be walking outside, watching theater, talking, and continuing to move. It's going to be a really exciting experience. And that I'm finishing and rewriting the play for that. Most writers are usually working on like at least 2, but maybe 3 to 5, 6 projects. So there are projects that people are paying me for, and there are projects that people aren't paying me for. I'm trying to transition into film and television writing, I am transitioning into television writing. And so I am working on scripts for that as well. And I'm also interested in entering augmented reality spaces, virtual reality. So I'm like always having conversations with people about that. And a play I wrote, Black Girl Joy, may be in residence this summer with the theater company. And I do know I'm going to be working with New York Stage and Film on a TV pilot that I'm working on this summer. So yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You're so young, and you have so many great possibilities in front of you. Now, our guest, Jay Mako, asked you a question. Thank you so much for sharing, Phanésia. What would you say is the cornerstone of your work?
I just had it. I would say women. It's like a very, if it's short, one word, women. I'm really interested in what women go through. Right now, I'm writing a play. I don't want to say too much, but it's about how women experience birth control and the history of birth control. And I write from the experience of like a cis woman, and I know that there are people who are gender nonconforming who I think their experiences also need to be discussed. So I just kind of want to say, I know I'm not the only type of woman or only type of gender minority, but my experience as a woman informs everything I do. I'm a woman in every room I enter. I'm Black too, yes. I'm, from Miami too, yes. But when people see me, they see a woman, and there are certain things that women experience in life. And I'm really interested in that. I'm interested in one of my favorite actresses, Marilyn Monroe, was great friends with.
I love her.
Isn't she? She's so beautiful.
She is. She's so talented.
So talented and so real. I mean, her writing, her truth. But she was friends with African-American women. Dorothy Dandridge was one of her best friends. And one thing she talked about is how they shared experiences as women. And I feel that way. I mean, that's why I went to Barnard. That's why I'm super passionate about my friendships with women. So I would say the cornerstone of my work is how women experience the world and really talking about how women go through things. Not just go through things, like what women, just talk about women.
Yeah. Wonderful. I wanted to thank our guests here on being with us. Let's see. We have Bruce was here. No, Bryce. How you say that? Bryce. Hi, Bryce. And we have Reina is here. Reina S. And then we have, let's see, Emma is with us. And then we have Al, my young friend Al is here. And then, and we have Rain here. We have Jay Mako. And thank you so much for being with us. And today is a conversation with someone special. You are episode 105. I did 105.
That's amazing!
Yay! Yeah, the first one starts last year, March 27th, because the pandemic. I was missing my young gang friends, and I missed my other friends because we were in the lockdown. So I started this talk show on my YouTube channel. So please subscribe my YouTube channel if you haven't. Yeah, please do. You just click on that to subscriber, and also make sure if you like our program, you click like this video. Also, there's a bell somewhere, so you can click on the bell. So I do this talk show every Wednesday, if not sometimes add on a Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so I have been interviewed a lot of people, lots of composers, lots of filmmakers, writer, like authors. Yeah, you are one of them. I interviewed a 77-year-old author. Yeah. I interviewed a 94-year-old composer. I interviewed probably 15 composers. Yeah, lots of composers. Yeah, so a lot of people. So check my YouTube channel and to see a list of people. And now we have Alice here, who is a don't get into relationship yet. Alice giving you advice. Use men. Us men are a distraction. Keep working on your craft. Thank you, Al, for your unsolicited advice. So now talking about, I did not know you know Andrew Yang. Tell me a little bit of what you know him.
About Andrew Yang?
Yes.
Super into politics. Of course I know him. I mean, he ran for president. We have to know. If I didn't know him, he ran for president. That would be ridiculous. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean,
yeah. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what do you know about him and what's going on right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I know he was under fire a couple weeks ago for his comments on Israel and Palestine. It's the one thing I know about him. I know he has interesting economic policy ideas.
Oh, no, we need to tell people he's running for New York City mayor, right?
Yes, he's running for New York City mayor. He would be the first Asian mayor of New York, I believe.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And the first mayor of color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal. I hope he wins. Yeah, he's cool.
I hope so too. So I am a hardcore Youngan. I followed Andrew Yang and Youngan. You know, Youngans are the people who support Andrew Yang. So I started like make videos of the movement since 2019 May, and then for pretty much for like 11 months I followed the movement until he suspended his presidential campaign on February 2020, and then March is the lockdown, right? We're like lockdown. I was like so kind of depressed, like I can't see my young friends, there's nowhere to yanning anymore. So I started to view my footage. I have about 200 hours of footage I shot in a year. Yeah. So, and I shot everything on iPhone 11.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're so creative. What? And your mom? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm a mom. Yeah, I'm a mom. So, and then I start to edit the work. So the work is kind of finished in January of this year, 2021, and 8 film festival has accepted the film, and we won two best documentary. One is Rome International Film Festival. One is the Toronto documentary film festival. Yeah. So you can see the trailer and clips of the film in Juhl Media in this channel, so you can check it out. So I don't mean to take over my politics.
No, it's so important. I mean, it's important that people express themselves, and that's the beauty of America, is that people fought for us to have the right to speak our minds, speak freely, and for us to fight for the politics we believe in. I think regardless of what you say, Andrew Yang, I mean, he's a brilliant man, and the fact that we could have, the first Asian mayor of New York City, that's incredible. Like, that's really exciting. So, I think regardless of where you stand politically, you can accept that that's very exciting.
Yeah. So I think it's a historical kind of, because I was never very much politically that sensitive or, did a lot of volunteer work. So the whole thing is volunteer, no one pays me. I did it all by myself. So anyway, yeah, thank you so much. Now tell us a little bit, what do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh goodness, this question. People ask it, I'm like, someone asked me yesterday and I was like,
I don't know.
I need to know where I see myself 5 months. 5 years, I hope I'm living. I hope I'm bi-coastal in the sense that, I'm writing for TV in California, and that I'm also producing plays in New York City and going back and forth between the two, and that I'm also creating and having a say over our transition to virtual reality, because that's going to happen. We are going to be moving into virtual reality spaces. So I hope that I'm also able. Hi, Jonathan. I hope
Hi, Jonathan. You brought a lot of friends. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my people are.
People. Thank you for being here, people.
Jonathan is the artistic director for Thronestone Theater that I was talking about. So, and hopefully in 5 years, I'm still working with Thronestone too.
Cool. Yes. Thank you for supporting us. So, yeah, continue. You were saying in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty simple for me, and I hope it would be amazing. It's really important for me because so many Black women have been writers in America. Zora Neale Hurston, Toni Morrison, but the story, and Zora Neale Hurston was actually the first Black student at Barnard. She's a famous Black writer. So it all comes like full circle, but she died penniless. And that's the story for a lot of artists, is that they die penniless and they don't have much to themselves, and particularly for women. This is a very, gendered experience. It's really important to me that I can sustain myself on being a writer. That's like a goal of mine. So in 5 years, I hope that I can, when I was 13, my house burned down. That was really terrible. But I hope that I can look back when I'm 23, 24, 25 and say, well, I just bought a house and I did it off of being a writer. So I wanted to come full circle. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wait, how old are you right now? May I?
Oh, I'm 21.
Oh my God! What? Oh my God! You're my daughter, because my son is 21.
21? Oh, yeah. I want to be your friend. If you're her mom, she's super cool.
Yeah, when you come to New York, you should meet my son.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, his name is Ching Juhl. So, yeah, great. Now, let's see. Tell us a little bit about, I'm not getting paid by Clubhouse, but tell us a little bit of what you like about Clubhouse.
I'm not being paid yet. Yet.
Yeah.
We'll get paid by them eventually.
You can tip me $5. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what do you like about it?
What do I like about Clubhouse? I love that we can connect with people on all types of conversation. I've made friends. I've been able to learn different things about industry, because people like to talk and we like to connect. And because of COVID, many of us aren't connecting. So it's been a way to make new friends, learn about different things, life hacks. Like, I'm in some rooms about candles and then some rooms about theater, candle making. So I like that. And you can connect with people. And I actually think it's going to be a career advantage. Like, when LinkedIn first came out, you didn't need a LinkedIn, but now you need a LinkedIn because recruiters use it. I think Clubhouse, I don't know how, but I have a very strong feeling that in 5 to 10 years, Clubhouse or apps like Clubhouse will be considered a must-have for a career, because you get inside industry knowledge in one concentrated app. You can connect with people, and you're able to advertise yourself in a very short amount of time. So it seems like a game changer, and I hope it's here to stay.
Yeah, it's like I had no idea when I went into Clubhouse. Just a friend of mine just said, "Oh, there's an event in Clubhouse. No, you should go." It was like actually Andrew Yangan, So I and then I didn't really do anything. So eventually, I did went in. Of course, I go to all the filmmakers setting, right? Filmmakers or maybe other people teach you how to use, what's the difference between Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Because I don't really use Instagram that much before, until I joined Clubhouse about 10 weeks ago. Yeah, like 2 months, 2.5. Yeah, and I have now 1.8 or 1.9 followers on Clubhouse. 1,000, 1,900. So yeah, but sometimes I feel like I'm an idiot, because there's so many incredible people on it. Like the way they say things, they're so knowledgeable, they're so articulated, right? They know their shit, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like amazing. That's amazing. And sometimes you feel like, is this real or not? Like I sometimes like, why would they want to spend 9 hours a day on Clubhouse and just talk about their crafts to people they don't know? So it's kind of weird, but then I just have to like think positive, like say, okay, they want to help people, and maybe they want to promote themselves. There's two sides, right? But I have to say, I really love it. I'm addicted to it. I've been going on to also political events, like say, I'll tell you what's going on. Okay, don't tell anyone. Okay, next week is. I'm just joking. Next week is June 4th. June 4th, 1989 is the date, a very important day in China. In Tiananmen Square is a massacre, and you were not born yet, because student coming on to Tiananmen Square and had a movement for like 2 months. They started to sit there in the Tiananmen Square since like April, so all the way to June 4th. And eventually, June 4th or June 5th, the Chinese government had a soldiers go in there and gun down them, So many people were killed. So on Clubhouse, actually, there is a group talk about that event. They start April sometimes. Every single day, they had expert or people went through talk about event. Like say today, April the 30th, what happened? And then tomorrow. So people go there every morning for 4 hours. They sit there and listen. Isn't that interesting?
It's incredible. It's a new way of learning. People are actively learning.
Yes.
It never stops.
So I've been going there to listen because I care about stuff like that. And so actually it resulted that next June 4th, next Friday, I will do a show on this platform to interview 4 or 5 people who fought in the movement.
Wow.
Yes. So I am listening to them every day. I became friends with them, and I invite them to talk to me, and they're very much willing to do that,
That's incredible. I'm going to try to be here.
Yeah. So this is Clubhouse, because we were talking about why it's good about. So you never know. It's in different directions. Some has to do with your own profession. Yep. Some has your hobby. Some could be politically you're interested in. So and I do 4 rooms on Clubhouse. One is about just joke about viola. It's called "Tell Me Your Viola Jokes," because violas, often being joked around. Yeah, because violas historically, their level is not as high as violinists, right? Yeah. So there's like so many viola jokes on internet or overall viola jokes. So I said, "Tell me your viola jokes." That's one club. My other club is teaching people how to use iPhone to shoot a video, and movie. Because I shot my entire documentary with my iPhone 11. So you should come to my session.
I will. I definitely
Friday.
will.
Tomorrow, every Friday, 11 a.m., I talk about how to use iPhone with other filmmakers, not just me. There are people, actually professional people, come to help me to do the room. So 11 a.m., New York time, okay, Eastern time, you guys can come on to Clubhouse, look for iPhone video production. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, great. Yeah, you should come. And then I figure, we all have iPhone or smartphone. We can use our smartphone to shoot. And then I have other clubs like Okay, I sit there, right? I sit there sometimes in the morning, like 1 week in the morning, just wait for people to come to me if they're depressed. It's called talking depression. You look you look so serious. So because a lot of people suffering for depression,
Yeah.
So and I thought I could be an ear to someone else, So
That's so sweet.
yeah. So anyway,
That's
anyway,
amazing. You were
yeah.
saying, you were like, all these amazing people on Clubhouse, what are they doing here? You're the amazing people you're talking about. More reflection of you. I'm so serious. Like, those are
Thank you.
really incredible rooms, especially. I know I'm someone who's experienced depression, so.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll talk. Okay, we'll talk. We can talk on Clubhouse or off Clubhouse,
Yeah.
because I suffer from depression for a long time. Yeah, a long time. So I understand sometimes people just need to talk, and no judgment, just to talk, or just no talk, just being together, So yeah, so that's good. I'm glad I mentioned that to you. Anyway, so I'm at Columbia has to do NG and stuff. So I wanted to do. I forgot to ask you. Should we do rapid fire? Are we done?
Sure. Yeah.
Rapid fire is like really stupid. Like I ask you like a silly questions, quick questions, and you answer.
Okay.
Hopefully, short version.
I'll do for it short. Yeah, short. You see how my brain?
Okay, so anything else you want to shout out before we do the rapid fire? Anything else? Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram. That's where I keep up everything. So if you saw me today and you're like, I want to keep up with her, Instagram, and I'll be there. That's
Yeah.
it.
Tell them your Instagram. The link is in the description.
Yes, and it's my name, Phanésia Pharel. If you type that, you'll find me.
Oh, great. Yeah, I like that. And your name is very beautiful. Sometimes I type one name into Twitter. I have like 6-7 names.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is which, but it's just you, And I had to make sure it's you, Yeah. Yeah. Great.
I love that. That's what I love about it. Yeah.
Phanésia Pharel. I'm gonna give you a Chinese name, okay? I'll think about it. I'll write it down in Chinese character. Okay, I'll give it to you.
I would love that. I'm
You're
so
my
serious.
unofficial daughter now.
I made it to the Juhl.
You have a tiger mother now.
Listen,
Tiger mother.
I already did. Why do you think I did violin? Come on. Haitians are tiger moms too.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to
Oh, Haitians, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, do you have siblings, or are you just by yourself?
Oh yes. I have 2 siblings. I have a 8-year-old sister and an 11-year-old brother.
Oh wow. Wow. Do you beat them up?
They beat me up.
That's funny. Oh my God, their hands full. Wow, 11 and 8. Wow, God bless you.
God bless my mom too, because with COVID.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, with COVID, like there's no school.
No school.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's tough. You have to deal with them, giving them project every single day. Yeah, that's tough. Wow. But yeah, kudos to your mom. Yeah, great. I'm sure your mom's very proud of you. All right, so rapid fire. All right. Okay. So, favorite color?
Green.
Favorite food, like dishes. Favorite dishes.
Pizza.
That's pretty easy. Low maintenance.
Yeah, I'm super easy. Little Caesars. I'll take Little Caesars too.
Okay, so what is the last book you read?
Essentialism.
About what?
It's about like minimizing things in your life and focusing on the essentials so things are easy. It's like a self-help book.
Okay. Are you an organized person or not organized?
Organized. No.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, someone not organized cannot graduate from Barnard. So now you live near ocean, right? So do you also like mountains, or you love ocean only?
I like them both. I'm Haitian. We have both in Haiti.
Yeah. Any other language do you speak other than English?
French and Haitian Creole.
Oh my God! Oh, French. I love French. Oh, I love
Wait,
French.
really?
I love French. Yeah, yeah, I love French. Yeah. So now, have you traveled much? I know you are still young. What country you would consider to live there if there's no money issue? What country you would like to live for a year?
Morocco.
That's awesome.
I love
I am like imagining all these, beautiful things and arts and right? Yeah.
I'd be in the middle of the desert. I love
Mm.
Morocco. Morocco is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So now spicy or not spicy? Food.
Not spicy. Not spicy.
No. Okay, no spicy.
No.
Yeah. Meat or vegetable?
Vegetable.
Do you know there's a thing called boba tea?
I love boba tea. I love boba.
Oh yeah? What flavor?
Mango, passion fruit. I love boba.
Yeah, Andrew Young loves boba tea. I only like boba tea without milk. So that's
Yeah, without milk. I don't like with milk. No.
yeah. So now what's name 3 your favorite films?
Clueless, Moonlight, and The Florida Project.
I don't even know what's Florida Project. Is it a feature film?
Feature film, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Great. Now, so amount all these social media, right? Like Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. Which 2 do you like the most?
Ooh, Instagram and Clubhouse.
Great. Now, yeah. Well, I know you just qualified to drink right now. If I were to buy you a drink, what would that be?
Kombucha. I don't like alcohol too much, so I'd want kombucha. Yeah.
What is a kombucha?
I make my own kombucha.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what? What is it?
It's like a tea. It's actually an ancient Chinese tea that people have kind of taken over. You use a SCOBY and you make your own tea, kombucha. I can show you.
Wow. Great. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ooh, cookies and cream.
It sounds very killing. Do you cook for yourself?
Yes.
Great. So yeah. All right. So last question. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Me too. What tea?
Green tea.
Green tea. Oh, yeah. When you come to New York, I'll treat you green tea. I have all kinds of tea.
Yay!
Yeah,
Oh,
all kinds of tea. Yeah, it's just amazing. Like we just hooked up now with you, and then you go to school. I'm like I live 2 blocks from your college.
It's incredible. I have to come see you because I love to visit the school now that I'm an alum. You know.
Yeah, alum.
Yeah, alum. Most of you sound like I'm a Juilliard alum. You know.
Yeah. Wait. Would you consider doing like other degrees now that you finish your bachelor, right? You finished your bachelor?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to wait a few years to see how my career's going.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Great. Weed. Somebody asked you weed or cigarette?
Neither. Not even.
Ow, you're bad.
Ow,
You're bad. I was bad. Yeah. Al is his fake name. I forgot his real name, but anyway, Al comes here to visit me once in a while. He's very sweet. He's
Aw,
young.
real
Yeah,
friend.
yeah, he's a young guy. So, if any of you are New Yorkers, please come out to vote for Andrew Yan on primary, which is June 22nd. But if you are not, you can always send money to Andrew Yan campaign. Give him $25 or something. And yeah. So one more time, thank you so much for joining us. And I do this show every Wednesday, sometimes on Fridays. And please watch us and please support just by subscribe this channel and watching us. And please also subscribe or follow Phanésia on her Instagram, on her Twitter, and Facebook, and all of these are in our description below. Yeah. And I want to ask you one more question. I think I asked that to Bobby. If tomorrow you win $25 million, what would you do with the money?
All at once? I have to do it all at once?
Doesn't matter. You get $25. Like, you won 25 lottery. How would you use it?
I would invest most of it. I would buy people homes who are homeless. I would travel, and I would buy myself a pizza. Like
Bubble tea.
Bubble tea too. Yeah. Bubble tea. No,
you come to New York. We're gonna go. I'm gonna treat you tea.
Yes!
You're gonna fly to New York. Yeah, great. Thank you so much, dear. And you are such a delight. And thank you for sharing your talent and your wisdom. And we want to see your play. I want to read your play. And please let us know how you're doing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're so young, and you're full of great future, and please keep up the great work.
Thank you, Ching. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And so say hi to your mom, and
I will
say hi to her, because I'm also just tell her she has a extra Chinese tiger mother sister.
Yeah. She used to be friends. She used to be friends with all the Chinese ladies when I would go to violin camp. Like, they'd get along. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you are pretty good if you go to camp. You actually played many years.
Yeah, I went for several years, and then I stopped in high school to focus on theater. But I played violin for several years.
Wow.
Great Youth Symphony.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't play right now because I sometimes play for my show. But you can see in my Juhl Media, there's one video. One video me performing Shostakovich Viola Sonata. I'm a violist, so you can see that. The audio is okay because it's a long time ago, But you can hear the music. So yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna go watch it. And I'll be here next Wednesday.
Yeah. Check my videos. Great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, all the audience there watching us. And we're going to say goodbye and, keep being safe, right? Even we had shots. I had shots. I don't know about you. Have you had shots? The COVID shots?
Yes, I've had my COVID shot.
Good. Yeah. But still, even if we had COVID shots, we still have to be careful, right? It's not like, it's like we're bullet free, right? Bulletproof free. Yeah. So we still need to be careful. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And until next time, I'll see you on Clubhouse at least.
Awesome.
Right? Yeah. And see me tomorrow.
Yes.
Come to our Clubhouse iPhone video production, 11 a.m. Okay?
I'll be there. I'm running.
Okay. All right. I'm saying goodbye to everybody. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, dear.